Welcome to the show, one and all. This is Damn Ugly Doggy coming to you with another episode of This Land is My Land. Today we're going to do a little bit of village micromanagement, then we're going to jump into having some fun. Probably come down and start clearing out this side of the map. So we are on day 51, 10 camps, 217 warriors, 39% of our land. So we're getting quite a bit of our land back at this point, which means that I want to be prepared. So I have 10 villages, and about every 10 villages, I like to go ahead and go through and clear out the inventories, make sure they got what they need, and they don't have anything else. I want to make sure that they fight with the right weapons and all that kind of good stuff. Have plenty of things to heal with, and a little bit of food, some medicine, apparently some treatments. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that the warriors in your villages are supposed to be able to use the treatments. Since my war parties were able to get injured, I'm going to assume that the villagers in your or the warriors in your village will also be affected by the injuries, and I don't want all my warriors bleeding out. So let's see what we can do to prevent that. I'm also not sure if I want to keep the villages where they are. I may consolidate a little bit. It seems a little early to me to consolidate, but it might be an option. I also like to have certain villages on the roads and then have support villages out in the middle of the boonies. And what I mean by that is if I have a village on the road and a cavalry patrol comes through, they're going to attack that village. But if I have two other villages out off to the sides, that aren't going to attract much attention, I can use those two villages to send warriors and help the one village being attacked. So these are kind of tactics that I try to prepare for. Alrighty, and I'm also contemplating setting up, well, I'm probably going to set up a war party with some shotguns and use them for close-in support. See if they do any better than the boys with the scopes. But as far as really testing war parties, I'm pretty much done with that for now. I mean, I'm always testing, so I'm going to pay attention to what happens, but I'm not really focused on uh, arming them and trying them out different ways. Okay, so I've got one that's at 25. Got a couple, three that are pretty, four or five that are pretty close to full. The rest are half full. All right. What do I want to do? I want to take out everything that I don't want them to use. Quality of weapon matters, and the weapons that I just took out, let's see if I can show you another one. Okay, so when it's this color, which I'm thinking is like a brown, that means that it's a low quality weapon. It's going to break quicker, it's not going to have quite as good accuracy, it's not going to be quite as strong. When you get to the white, that's an upgrade. It's going to shoot a little better, it's going to last a little longer, and when you get to the green, it's going to be a high quality, and that's going to be your best weapon. So as you can see, this is a high quality Chapman Works 1875 versus a low quality Palmer repeater. It's another Palmer repeater that's a high quality. So obviously you're going to want this one versus this one. Not to mention this is an updated version of that one, but as far as shotguns go, the Coach is your strongest shotgun. So this is your regular Russell. And this has a damage of 376 whereas your coach is going to have a damage of 630. So not only quality, but design matters. So I'm basically, this is not going to be the most exciting part of this episode, but I'm basically going to take everything out of the villages that I don't want them to have. I'm going to leave all the, now they gathered all these weapons from the camps that I took out, and I had this particular village go and raid. So I do actually need to take care of this because I don't think I have a whole lot of meat. Do I have any meat in here? Yeah, I've only got 30 meat in here, so I'm going to want to take care of that pretty quick. Now I'm going to leave all the food, all the heals, all the treatments, any of that kind of good stuff. But I'm going to take all this miscellaneous stuff out. Another reason for doing this is if one of these villages do get taken out, I don't want to have to go and try to find all this stuff because they're going to take it all. Theoretically, you can go to the town or you can go wherever. They end up camping and get some of it back. But, I mean, come on, who wants to do that? If you just do a little bit of village maintenance, you're never going to lose all this stuff. So it pays to be prepared. And for the most part, I throw everything into my core village, my number one village, and just make sure that village is heavily defended. My inventory? Oh, because I picked up guns. That's why. I'm like, wow. Usually, your only real limit on what you can put onto yourself are the guns and the bows. When it comes to the other items, you can carry pretty much everything at one time. You're not going to be able to move, but when it comes to picking up guns and bows, you can only carry a limited amount, quantity-wise. Not, it has nothing to do with the weight. And this takes a little bit of time. Normally I would do this off camera, but I think some people might want to kind of see what to do. Okay. The only problem for me is I don't want to put all my treatments that I carry on me somewhere else. Oh, come on. Hold on one sec. Okay. Let's put all that away. Now what I do want to do, I want to finish emptying out this one. Ah, see, that's not what I wanted to do. Don't take out the meat. Plenty of shovels. Okay. Plenty. Yeah, I've done a little bit there. Done a little bit there. Yeah, I don't really have any that are empty. Okay. Okay, so I've taken out pretty much all the excess stuff. Now, since I don't want to accidentally throw things into the wrong village, I'm going to put everything that I carry in here. And since it needs to be upgraded, I need to grab the stuff to do the upgrades. was I? I like to empty out my inventory when I do this kind of stuff. It just makes it go a lot quicker. Alright, so that was easy enough. So I should not have a problem here. 27 to 30. Alright, we gotta take all this out. And you're gonna notice here, I'm pretty much gonna leave, take 500. I'm gonna leave every village with war bows and heavy arrows. That's pretty much what I want them armed with. And that's what I would suggest, short of having high quality weapons and enough high quality weapons to make a difference. I would suggest that you, no, I want to go 390. They really don't need even 100. You don't need those. And 800. I mean, that's way overkill for what? I want to take that out. You don't need that much meat. All the skins, all this other stuff. And full. And so as your village count increases, so you can see how long it takes me to do 10 of these. Imagine if I were trying to do this with 50, because you can end up with 50, 60, 70, 80 villages. And if you wait too long, I mean, this is kind of a pain in the butt, but just imagine doing it, for 60 villages in a row. It's really irritating. So I suggest that you try to do this every 10 villages. Oh, that's still on one. 3. That way it doesn't become overwhelming. Because trust me, it can be overwhelming. I'm going to leave all the treatments on to 4. This is also a really good way to keep track of your inventory. You can tell what you have. Keeps everything safe. I want 700. And I want another 100. Okay, I can leave all that. Don't need those. You don't need those. All the food and stuff you can keep. Eh, I could have left some of that, but whatever. Then as soon as I'm done here, we're going to go ahead and take some more territory back. Getting ready for that mid-game action coming up pretty soon, depending on how quickly I take the territory. And we'll go with 200. Leave a little meat just in case. I also want to bump up my warriors a little bit. Get some of these other villages filled up. You can see the amount of, well, no, that's not true. I was going to say you can see the amount of loot built up pretty quick, but I kind of brought stuff in. So this one village has 600,000 items right now and going up quickly. That's a lot of stuff. Lots of good gun parts coming in. The cool thing is I haven't had to actually loot any of this stuff myself. I've had my warriors doing it all. So I haven't had to deal with trying to carry it back to the core village. All I have to do is transfer it. A little bit of gold, a little bit of lead. Nice. Okay, so we're on 4. Lots of shovels. Okay, the rest can stay. Ah, no. Nothing too exciting to talk about here. So I'm not just going to keep blabbing it on. We'll just get through this. Oh, don't take all the food. Been kind of a slow night on the game chat as well. Usually I like to just read the conversations on the game chat as I do this. Gives me something to do. Nobody's saying anything. You know, put all would be a really useful button on this menu. Like, really useful. And you can see you gather a lot of stuff pretty quick here in this game. So you can see how the villages can kind of get out of control. And it kind of makes it hard for you to know what you have when everything is just spread out. Well, you can always search up here in the search bar for anything in your villages, but it's not quite the same. All that's good. Looks like I've picked up a few decent guns, but nothing too exciting. And I always try to leave some wood and some rope in the villages. That way if I want to create a new village, I don't have to go and put those back into it. Little things like that kind of just help speed up the campaign. Speaking of, I should have this paused. I don't need anything unexpected to pop up while I'm doing this. And I try to leave a little bit of meat in each village, just in case they become overpopulated. Buys me a little bit of time. And like I said, I think each warrior that's over the population eats 5 meat per day, which really isn't too bad, because you're not usually overpopulated by like 100 warriors. It's usually just a couple. 7. And like I said, all these weapons are from camps that I took out, left all the loot, and then had these villagers go and collect. And again, this is all just part of the game. Things that, if you want to try to create a feeder campaign or have a really good experience for the long game, these are things that you really should do. Invest a little bit of time into your map. It'll pay off in the long run. This is also a really good way to tell if you have the items you need in order to craft better guns. Alrighty. Was that everything in 7? I don't think so, no. Mm. Now, if I were going to have my boys out there gathering pelts and items like that, which at some point I will, I would also leave hunter bows here. And since I don't really have I don't have a supply of hunter bows, I wouldn't actually put them in. I would just have my boys start gathering the needed items and have them create their own. Which I could do. I mean, while they're just sitting there doing nothing, but I just feel safer leaving them in the village. As you can tell from previous episodes, I don't really need them to go gather anything. The only thing that I would need them to craft is hunter bows, or hunter bows, and regular arrows. But then again, why would I need them to do that if I don't need them to gather animal parts? And that all just depends on your preference of play. Obviously, the first few campaigns that I played, our focus was having them gather. It just made life a lot easier. Man, it's hot in my place. Hold on one sec. I gotta take off a sweater. Whew. That's a little better. I gotta get comfortable here. I'm doing a little late night stream, and for some reason, it just got like super hot in here. Inventory full. What am I in? 7. Kind of curious how many gun parts I have altogether. And at some point, considering my feeder campaign has all blueprints except for the high quality Thunder Ops, I would probably transfer all of this over to my main feeder campaign, which is why my main feeder campaign has so many items in its main camp. I'm at like 7 million items in my main camp, main village. I don't know why everybody calls these camps their villages, but even the stupid thing calls it a camp, which is kind of confusing to me. Alright, another thing I want to do is make sure I have all of these numbered. So let's say something is going to attack one of my villages, they're going to say the name of the village. And when they show it, it's going to show me the numbers. So instead of scrolling through, because if you have 30, 40 villages, you can only fit about 18, 19 on this list. So you're going to have to scroll through and try to find that odd little name. But instead, you're going to just have to find that number, and it's just a lot quicker. Speeds things up quite a bit. Looks like I've brought a lot of ancestor bows in here. Another thing I want to test is I want to give ancestor bows to a village and have them go gather pelts and other animal parts and see if the ancestor bows don't break. Because then they wouldn't need a supply of hunter's bows. Which would just be convenient. And I'm almost to a point where I could give everybody on a campaign ancestor bows. I think I have 600 of them now. Close to 600. That'd be pretty much enough. Well, yeah, that'd actually be more than enough. That could be an interesting campaign. I think it takes long arrows. I could craft up a whole bunch of those. Now that I think about it, I think I'm just going to do this episode as a micromanaging episode. Then I'm going to stop the stream and I'll restart, do the next episode as moving forward. Because I'm not thinking too many people are going to want to watch all of this. Oddly enough, though, I know I would. If I were just starting the game, every little bit of info would help. And that's kind of why I'm doing this, for those hardcore players that really want to get into it. Alrighty. Is that everything? No. Uh, two more. Looks like I need a few bows in here. Huh. It's kind of weird that the devs added like boar's hearts and adrenaline glands. It makes me wonder if that's going to be needed for some kind of something later. It's cool, different. I wouldn't have expected items like that, but makes me wonder. And I don't know, I don't think you can have your, I'm pretty sure you can't have the war parties gather, or not war parties, your workers gather those particular items. I'm assuming that those are things you can pretty much only get yourself or loot. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. Alright, one more to go. This would also be the time that you would want to try to upgrade all your villages. You know, it's at the 39-40% point. Hmm. I'm just now noticing, look at that. That's gonna be an interesting fight. I wonder which boss that is. He's riding between two camps. That's a tough little corner right there. Luckily, I don't really plan on going over there. I'm gonna swing over here. Looks like our next fight's gonna be with this boss. So that should be interesting. Oh, he's still using my damn gun. Go back to the village, you schmo. Let's put you on play. That'll help. Uh, well, okay. Maybe if I take the ammo. Maybe he'll chop the gun. I can leave all that there. I could go to that village, find that guy, and take the gun. I don't really want to do that, though. What does whitefish mean? Oh, okay. Nothing special. Alrighty. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, one chore done. Looks like my market's pretty active. I like that. Somebody's going to have fun with some explosive arrows tonight. So what have I gained? Everything that's not high quality is pretty much what I've looted so far. Yeah, only 3 of those. Yeah, nothing too spectacular. Hard to tell with the ammo, considering I brought ammo in. Not as many gun parts as I thought I was getting. Those are useful. I needed more of those. You never get enough lock bolts. Alright, nothing too spectacular. So, let's just take 90. Can I get my rifle back yet? Thank you. You got 30. I just want to make sure I've got enough. I don't care if I have too many. I just want to make sure I have enough. 57. You don't need that. Which means you don't need those, and you don't need those. You definitely don't need those. Okay. I've got 15 of them in here. Speaking of ancestor bows, let's go ahead and grab that and see what's going on in the market. It sounds like something's drinking. What is that? No? Weird. Alright, nothing too exciting in the market. I've sold a few things. I like it. What's he selling that for? Wow, that's a pretty hefty price. I wonder. Yeah, obviously nobody's bought that. That's a pretty hefty price for grocery. That's kind of crazy. Grocery is one thing people don't really offer very much in the market. Okay, what else do I need? That's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and pause this. Now I want to look at my map. Hmm, what do I want to do? Can't decide if I should take out this town or not. I'm guessing, what did I say I was on? Like day 39? Something like that. Okay, was there anything else I needed to do in the villages? You've got food. Oh, I haven't really spread out. Oh, I don't really have that many curatives anyways. Or treatments. I keep calling them curatives. What do I got for treatments? Really don't have much going on. I wonder if I should have them creating their own. Maybe that would be a good thing for them to do. But I'm gonna assume uh, I'm gonna assume that I need to upgrade the. God, look at the prices of the upgrades now. Now I haven't upgraded any of these, but because I've upgraded these, the price of these have gone up. So you can imagine this is going to be level 1 for 15,000. So you can imagine what the max will be. It's going to be very expensive. Oh, what do I want to do? I really would like to see how these guys would do if they had treatments. Hmm. I've only got one more skill that I actually care about upgrading. I think that was... Or did I already do it? No, that was this bad boy. Detect enemies. I still need 16,000 more. Hmm. The rest of these skills I don't really use, so they don't matter to me. I don't have enough treatments to spread around, really. I mean, I could give them festering wounds, punctures. No, I don't have enough of those. Only one I really have enough for. Okay. I think I might bring some treatments and stuff in from my feeder at a later date. So, do I want to consolidate? That's in a good place. That's actually a good place. You know, these are actually in fairly good spots. He's kind of isolated, but he still has this guy can help. Mm, this map just seems... I must have hit the small map, because this seems like a small-ass map to me. Maybe it's just been so long since I played, but this seems like it's missing a whole area. This is... yeah, I must have hit the smaller map when I started this campaign. He can help. He can help him. He cannot help him. He can't help him. So I've only got... can't even hit the town. I just realized I got this place over here I need to get rid of. We're going to just go ahead and burn it. And I've got these to get rid of. Kind of seems like this might lead to them getting stuck. Do I want to? Yeah, I kind of just want to burn it. Just want to move on. Get those started. This site's actually set up really nice. I like these three. So if a patrol were to come through and say attack this one, and there's nothing coming from this side, I would send these two in to help. Same with these three. These three are actually situated very well. This one especially, because if either of these, that's not good. Look at that, a fox killed him. I always get killed by friggin' foxes. Uh, Either of these villages that are close to the road get attacked, this guy is going to be able to help. And this guy's kind of off the road, so they would just hopefully skirt on by. I don't have anything up here. Alright, so I'm back to whether or not I want to hit this village. It looks like lead gatherers are going back, so that should make the town expand a little bit, grow. That's a good thing for me. These guys come back, it'll be the same thing, but I think these guys are probably from whatever town's down here. What are you? Post wagon. Where are these guys? Did I pause it again? No. Okay, you're there. And for some reason, oh, it's probably because I'm so close by. That's why. Normally, I don't like to fast travel, but I'm probably going. Oh, shit. I didn't even notice I left town. Let's get rid of that. Don't need you on the map. Okay. Alright, let's prep a little bit. I want my stuff back. Oh, that's duh. I'm like, what did I do with my ancestor bow? Let's take that. Let's go. I don't really need 40 of those. I don't know what I'm doing with that. 60 of those. Then we're going to go with 120. Just to be safe. Get my good old ginkgo. 40 of them bad boys. Get my treatments. What does that do? Infection. I don't need 5 infection, really. Better too many than not enough. I'll take all those. That should be good. What about cloth? It's always good to have. I could put cloth in each one. That would help. Don't really want to take the time to do that though. Okay, next question is, do I want... I think I do. I think I'll do that on the next episode. Let's go ahead and... Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? I want to be close, but not too close. I think we might go see who this is. This looks like a good spot. Alright, let's travel there, and then we're going to call this episode to an end. Just some basic micromanaging. Took me 45 minutes. Not the worst thing in the world. But you can see that's for 10 villages. But you imagine if I waited until, and I've done that, waited until I had 30 villages. Which it kind of doesn't look like I'm going to end up with like 30 villages. Alright. I really didn't need to exit out. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just like to start every episode on the loading screen so people can follow along. Alrighty, day 52, 10, 216, 39. Good stuff. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.